Hello everyone and welcome back to another part of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Season 1. If you did miss last episode, do check it out. We went to Miami and we got an extremely solid P7 finish, matching our best result of the season, but this time a bit more legit, if you will. Verstappen at the moment running away with the championship, 3 wins of 4, but with Leclerc taking the win in Saudi, the only time a non-Red Bull has won, and Red Bull are dominating the constructors at the moment. Over 50 points to Mercedes, who are in second on 79. For the specs, I was thinking about buying another booster to get spec, one maybe in the durability, or maybe even in, getting a better spec in the aero or powertrain. But I decided to wait and buy that extra durability, the resource point generation, which costs a bit more than we've got right now. So we're just going to save up for that at the moment. And hopefully with his next weekly resources, we'll be able to do it. And hopefully our monocoque succeeds, which it does. I think that was a guaranteed upgrade, actually. And yep, now immediately going to buy that resource generation to get those resource points cash in, and spec one on the durability as well. That should come in time for next race after IMOLA. I'm not sure which one that is, but we will see. But now R&D, I would normally do some R&D, but I don't think there's much we can do with only 589 resource points. We haven't got too much to do. Things cost a bit more than 600 points now, so let's head straight into the race weekend. But we will be doing R&D, obviously, after quick practice. But let's dive straight into it and take a look at this R&D chart. But first, the weather. Looks dry, but it might be a bit wet towards the end, as we found out the hard way in Jeddah. But anyway, R&D chart. Let's head over and see how we're doing. And we do make another upgrade with that major weight upgrade to our car. Haas are now right with Alpine. AlphaTauri is still the worst, followed by Alfa Romeo and then Williams. And McLaren are now ahead of both Mercedes and Aston Martin, so I expect them to be competitive towards this in Imola. So that's going to be very interesting. A track, obviously, McLaren do quite like. Obviously, Lando Norris got his podium there in 2022. But upgrades then. The one and only podium of the year as well, I might add. But think about what to do here. Thought about the tyre wear, but decided maybe not. Tyre wear's not actually been that bad for us. I could do with this a drag reduction upgrade, and we just don't quite have enough points for that, so we're not going to do this tyre upgrade just yet, and we're going to buy this drag reduction, which should come in time for Austria, which will be huge. Shame, I was hoping it would be in time for Canada, but we will see. But anyway, let's dive straight into quali. First lap then here in Q1. Last at the moment, we went out a little later than everyone else. We had a fuel system issue, but either way up to the line, going a bit wide in that last corner. Time to be found in this lap for sure, but it's not great overall, and there's a lot of time to be found, and we're going to go again, because we could only manage P21, which now immediately goes down to P22, and you can already see how much time there is to be gained. Obviously, we have a little slipstream off Ocon in the Alpine ahead of us. Ocon does like giving us a bit of slipstream. You remember in Miami, the Alpine did give us some slipstream. which really helped our grid slot. But either way, Esteban Ocon, thank you very much, good sir. Up to the line for us, 1.1 seconds gained. It's going to be through to Q2 for us in P8. Very solid lap from us to put together there. Whereabouts our car should be too, so that's very nice indeed. Let's see if they have any big shocks in quali. Does Felipe Drugovich made it through? It's not looking good for him at the moment. Yes, he has! Felipe Drugovich has. And I think the reason for that is, you'll see it so early in the personnel department event, we did plus 10 focus on him instead of plus 10, plus 2,000 second driver acclaim. And Felipe Drugovich, that has clearly paid out. That's going to be huge for his confidence through to Q2 at the expense of the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. He used to only be beating Sargent, if you remember, last time he was out in quali, but finally he's showing his pace, which I know he's got. Come on, Felipe. See if you can try and get a bit better than P16 in Q2. But that's going to be absolutely huge for his confidence boost. Obviously, we're making it through to Q3 quite consistently now, and maybe he should be too. But he is a rookie, so are we, but he is a lower rated rookie, so we have to let him have this one. But it's going to be absolutely huge for his confidence boost either way. Hopefully we can see him a bit more consistently in these second sessions. But first lap, P4, not that bad. 0.6 off Lewis Hamilton's time, which shows that maybe the others didn't set the best of laps. And we're currently P8 as we start our final flying lap. Everyone else already out on their flyers. Felipe Drugovich, unfortunately, not through just yet. I believe he is in P16. Hopefully this lap can count. But we don't really gain time much during this lap. We do gain quite a bit in this first sector on the exit here. 0.2. But we just lose it in other parts of the lap. But on the last few corners, we do really gain so much time. We gain about 0.8 there in those final two corners. We really mark that up, and that's going to be P3 for us on the grid for 2 consecutive races for us. Our quali pace is a really good round. It seems like that is brilliant. We were P3 in Miami, we're P3 in Imola. Until I realised this was Q2. So that was a bit underwhelming, can't lie. But P3, I guess it still sets a good tone for the race. It's a bit silly of me. I knew it was Q2 as well. I literally said Drugovich. Oh. But we didn't. We did find quite a bit of time. Those last 2 corners really found a bit more. Hopefully we can go along with that trend and continue finding lots of time in these last 2 corners, because in my first lap I don't seem to be doing the best, as you can see, just going a bit wide and going onto the gravel there. That really poor. And that's going to be a 1:17.3 from us. P10, not worth showing really lap, to be honest. We're going to have to go again. And we're going to have to find a lot more time. P10 at the moment. Ocon P9. Perez P6. Alonso P7. We're going to be aiming, obviously, for that P3 again. And this lap, just like the one in Q2, we didn't find too much time in the... Well, we found quite a bit of time, but we just lost it all. 0.3 up this time. But we just lose it all in those second and third in this sector. Sector 2, we must have put a really good one in, or this was really bad, which probably the latter, to be honest, because we've gone wide there. That should be the lap invalidated. We'll complete it anyway. And yeah, I feel like we're losing more time than we're gaining here anyway. So we've gone green in both sectors, but we are marginally up. But that exit is not what we needed. And we literally set an identical lap to Q2. We could have been, 3-4 tenths fast up, more up maybe. And again, last 2 corners, look how much time we gained. Obviously went into the gravel and we kept it very tight that time. 0.8, 0.9 up, 9.5. That's going to shoot us up from P10 to P9, guys. It's because our first lap was so ridiculously bad. 3 more tenths, I reckon we would have been fighting among those top lads. But we'll see.
Before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So P9 for us then, P8 for Lando Norris starting ahead of us, and Sergio Perez P6, and it's not a Red Bull on pole, it's Carlos Sainz making the Tifosi proud at their home race. But 3 more tenths, I reckon we would have been about P5. But let's head straight into this race.
So today we're in Imola, or to give it its official title, Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, named after their legacy. A beautiful tribute and a beautiful circuit. It's time, everyone, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 1 lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula 1 circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track, 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 to the left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin at turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Iceman, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Gasly, Albon, Hulkenberg, Drugovich, Stroll, Joe, Sonoda, Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Anthony Davidson alongside me, as always, to talk you through the action. Now I want to talk to you about Carlos Sainz.
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And apart from that, keep an eye out for anyone getting a good launch from the midfield. You see it happen from time to time, and it can really throw a spanner into the races of the quicker cars and push them into a more risky strategy.
Okay, this is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix, which means there's a lot of very important people here behind the scenes. I'd love to give them a strong result to watch today, plus a good result might make my post-race meetings a little bit easier.
All right, Mark. All right. I'm sorry, mate, for carrying this team. You know, Mark being very aggressive there. But anyway, on the strategy screen, a soft medium does seem like the fastest strategy, but no one else around us really on the softs. The AI don't tend to save a set of soft tyres for the race like I do. Drugovich did qualify P16. I don't know if I hinted upon that on my underwhelming Q2 performance. But formation then, it's been interesting how the tyres perform. Hopefully not too much tyre wear, and we'll see if there is. We might have to go on to the hard, so keep an eye out on Fernando Alonso as well to see if he gets a good launch on the hards and if they fire up quickly enough. But lining up to the grid then, we overtook quite a lot of people on the formation lap, not going to lie, but either way, doesn't matter because we are going to get a superb 0.2 parking slots. Very solid indeed. Soft tyres, better work here around Imola. Hopefully not too much tyre wear because otherwise they will wear extremely quickly. But 5 red lights then ahead of us for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Our engine supplier's home race. It's lights out and we are underway. It's a good start for us. Alonso not getting the best of start and held up Lando Norris. We take out both of them and we're up into it would be 7, but Norris very ballsy on the brakes there. But we do, on these soft tyres, can brake a bit later. As Mark tells us, we've got our internal combustion engine wear. Thanks a bunch, Mark. Couldn't have told me in qualifying, could you? That would have just been a bit too easy, wouldn't it? So now we've got wet internal combustion engine, so less power. In a circuit, there's one straight with DRS, and there's quite a long straight. If it was Monaco, I might not mind as much, but it's not. So we're going to be struggling for the rest of this race, basically. But either way, we're going to have to use these soft compound tyres while we can, because Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris and everyone else behind them will not be getting off to the best of starts, I am sure, but those tyres will definitely come to them in the end. So we're going to need to utilise these while we can, and lap 2, going wheel to wheel with Lando Norris there. Very, very interesting, but Perez already dropped us as we go wide. We go very wide. That's going to give Lando Norris another chance to maybe go for the move on, but it can't. And lap 4, Lando Norris sniffs the opportunity. The mistake from us, not forced, but it's happened anyway. Fernando Alonso also going for the move on us on the outside. We're going to deploy as much ERS as we can to go for the move. We're going to think about the inside, switch to the outside. That's a ballsy move round the outside. Can we complete it? Oh, we're going to have to see that over and over again. What a move by us. I'm sorry, lads. I just have to see that. Went to the inside, faked to the inside, went to the outside, round the outside, kept it on circuit. From Alonso's POV, just so aggressive and just round the outside, and he just followed us through. That's possibly my favourite overtake I've ever done on this F1 game. But look at the tyres. Lap 5, we're getting 6% wear per lap, 30% already, and already quite worn. That's not ideal at all. So we might be going to the hard tyres after all. That's not ideal. I was hoping to do a soft medium, take these softs to about lap 11. But as you'll see here, I switch it to hards. But now, as Fernando Alonso gets a much better exit, much more traction, we're going to squeeze him to the inside. No, Alonso! No! No! Our rear wing's damaged. No! Our rear wing's broken. Alonso's stuck on track. There's a red flag. Look at Alonso's car. Is that Stroll as well? We're going to need to see what happened there. But there's a red flag in this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Both Aston Martins have crashed out the race. We have to see what happened there. We go a bit wide. Alonso opens the DRS, goes for the move on the outside. We squeeze him a bit too much. I might have to take responsibility for this one. And yeah, not much I could do after Alonso had hit me. I was just a passenger, and as was Fernando Alonso, really. But that's my bad. I'm going to have to take responsibility for that one. But what happened to the other Aston Martin of Lance Stroll? Here's another replay of Alonso going for the move on the outside. I feel like he should be able to see that our car is just genuinely pointing towards the direction of that inside. I mean, the gap's there, but our car is definitely pointing there, and the gap that was there is closed by the time he's alongside us. So maybe he should have done what Norris did to us, and fake to the left, gone to the right. Because our car is definitely pointing in that direction, but I will take responsibility for this crash. It's a miracle we don't have a penalty, but we do have a broken rear wing. And there's a massive shunt from behind. Was that the other Aston Martin of Lance Stroll? There's Bottas's POV of the incident. Yeah, there's that Lance Stroll going for the move on, I think it's Bottas. It's Bottas or Joe. I think it might be Joe. He slows down because of the yellow flag and just smashes into Alonso. Shouldn't be going for the move under the red flag, mate. But either way, that was eventful. And now, as you can see, rain is on the way. Rain is on the way. So we're going to go mediums. After all our talk about tyre wear, we will go mediums to the rain and then put to inters. But we'll be starting from much further back. P18 with 5 red lights. And we're underway once again for the second time here in Imola. Drogovic P13, I might also add. We get a decent start on the outside. Just passing as many cars as possible as the concertina effect goes up. We just don't have to bring till so much later than everyone else. We just overtake half the pack there in one movement. And we're now up into P11. A couple people chosen the hards, but our team haven't fixed our rear wing. Oh no. Oh, that's not ideal at all. Team, what happened? Why couldn't you fix it under the red flag period? I don't know if they're allowed, but I'm not sure. But either way, we're going to have a very broken rear wing, and we're going to be sliding through these corners. Rain in 10 to 15 minutes. Look how much just genuine oversteer we're getting. And now, lap 8, going on to lap 9. Hulkenberg going for the move on us, but because of our engine somehow protecting us, even with that loss of power, we still managed to keep that Haas at bay. Our engine, we do have the best engine on the grid, and this is helping us for our lives because we're going to have such a draggy car in corners and straights and stuff. As now Lewis Hamilton, lap 9, out of the race, and we're in the points. We are now in the points, so we're now fighting for that P10 position, for that one singular point. This could be huge for us. That is so crucial for our race to just get into those points. And now we're going to have to hold it. I hope we'll be able to hold it on Hulkenberg until the rain comes. But when the rain does come, I'm not sure it'll be very good for us because of these tyres. The way they perform at the moment is okay. I mean, they're bearable. Obviously, it'll get worse as the race goes on. But in the wet, the inters are going to be so hard to manage. So I'm not sure how that's going to work because there you can see they're just sliding through the corners. We have to go completely off the track. And now our engine's worn as well. It's now first stops in a few minutes. You can see it's very overcast up above the sky. There's Alexander Albon going for the move, but he just doesn't have the pure engine power to do it. Even with our very worn engine, he now can't quite do it. But lap 14 is Albon still can't go for the move. And I believe the rain is coming next lap. I believe lap 15, I believe the rain will come. But I'm not sure how heavily it will arrive. So that's going to be very interesting to see. And you saw that I was sliding through those corners. And now first few drops of rain have come. You can see on the dashboard, on the camera. There you are, the first few drops of rain. Esteban Ocon going for the move. And this track here in this lap deteriorated so much. It was like Zandvoort all over again in 2023. Absolutely crazy. So it's pretty dry at the moment. You know, you've not got too much rain. It's quite wet. It's quite not too much rain, but it's I'd say a couple laps, right, until the track really gets damp. But here, this part of the track gets absolutely soaked. The rain just increases so much. And, well, you'll see for yourself how much this track gets damper. Rain increasing. But for me, the AI ahead have not pit. Okay? The AI have not pit. So I was thinking, surely the AI behind me won't pit. So surely the right decision is to not pit. As we get overtaken, we re-overtake Ocon. But here, look how wet it is. I do decide to pit then. But then I think, then the thought process to me that the AI haven't pit comes to my mind, and I think, what's the point of pitting if they're not going to pit? So I pass the pit lane and not go in, and because of that, everybody else pits, and DRS is disabled the moment we pass the pit lane. So, and then our engineer tells us there's a new strategy available. So, thanks a lot, Mark. I mean, I had to take, again, some responsibility on this and just not making the corners either. It's really difficult here and just struggling a lot. But Drogovic, unfortunately, P13 was doing so well, is going to be held up in the pit lane. As we go onto the gravel, you can really see how much I'm struggling here. Drogovic now, I believe, P15, P16 maybe. But you can see we're in a league of our own. But end of the lap, when we do in the end come into the pits, you'll see that they're what, 4 seconds behind me? These tyres as well, really worn. And you'll see here, I don't see the point of going on to inters. Like, I know I'm going to come out last place anyway. So I go onto the full wet tyres, because just in case the rain gets any worse. And we have an issue, so that's not good. It's not good at all. So we're going to come out dead last then, behind even Nico Hulkenberg, who pit again because of the tyre wear, I believe, onto another set of tyres. But it's not ideal for us, and these hard tyres, which doesn't help either, feel absolutely awful on the car. Absolutely awful. You can see how badly, obviously these aren't very warm tyres, but absolutely awful. It says Inters look the best tyre, but the rain is still pouring down. So I feel that the wet would eventually become the better tyre. You can see we're still sliding our rear wing is not helped matters at all, to be honest. Really difficult to control the car through corners, especially. But I decide that lap 18, realistically, we do get another corner cutting, by the way, so we do got a 3-second penalty now. And we pit for inters and hope an incident happens further up ahead. But the wets were the wrong decision, and now we will get lapped. Not the best of races, I can't lie, lads. I had quite a lot of potential, but it just didn't go to plan. And the inters do feel better than the wets. I know you can't really see that from these initial grip levels, but we've got blue flags. 20 more minutes of heavy rainfall. Alright, Mark, bet. But we're going to have to let through Verstappen and Leclerc. And by the end of the lap, we're going to also have to let through the McLaren and the Mercedes, probably, at the pace we're going. Yep, it's Oscar Piastri, actually. And here I decide there's no point. No incident is going to happen within the next 2 laps is going to make us gain a position. We're going to finish P19, whatever. So we're just going to retire from the race. It's a real shame, honestly.
I'm sure there'll be celebrations tonight. Tell me, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result tonight?
It always has the potential to liven up the race and mix up the order. They've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and come out on top.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula 1, so be sure to join us for the next one.
P14 for Djokovic then, his first win in our head-to-head battle so far. But Sainz, from pole position, remember, to 9th, and the track has magically dried up in these past couple minutes of the podium celebration. And Piastri, by the way, deserves a shout out. P11 to P3, that's a really impressive feat. And as you can see, it just got magically wetter when I went into the view replay, which I always do to get the thumbnail for the videos. But anyway, everyone, if you have enjoyed this video, do make sure to like and subscribe. It does help out so much. You can see I'm doing quite a bit of admin here. I'm a bit frustrated with that race because it did have, as I have said, so much potential. P19 for us, but anyway, as I was saying, if you have enjoyed, please do make sure to like and subscribe. It does help out so much. And I'll see you guys next time for the Spanish Grand Prix, with obviously the new layout. I'm very excited to get there. We did well in the AlphaTauri, grabbing our first pole position there, but we couldn't convert that due to a race win, due to our gearbox issue. Let's hope that doesn't happen next time. But if you have enjoyed, do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.